in a VHDL, right? So when you open the quarters 2, you will see this window where we required the few windows should be open. One is the project navigator window, where you can see which project is currently in a open or which project currently is in a compile. In a status window, you will see the status of the compilation, simulation, or whatever the process will perform. What is the status of that process, you will see in the status window. Third window is the message window, where you can see the warnings and errors and all the message in a message window, right? Now first step, when we want to enter our design, right? So here we want to implement a half header using the data flow architecture modeling, right? So first step in a quarters 2 is you have to go in a file and new file and new. Once you click the file and new, it will open, it will ask you which file you want to open. So out of that, have some design files have or some verification and debugging files, right? So if you want to enter our design here, first of all, first step is we have to enter our design, right? So here we want to enter our design in a VHDL format. So we'll select the VHDL. These are the different design file we can enter in a quarters 2, right? We can enter our design in a form of HDL, which is the Altera hardware description language. We can enter the design in a block diagram schematic file. We can enter the design in a EDF file. We can design the in terms of state machine file. We can enter the design in a Verilog HDL language. We can enter the design which have the script file, or we can enter the design in a Verilog or a VHDL. So here we want to enter our design in a VHDL, right? So we'll select the VHDL. Then it will open a one editor window for the VHDL. Here we will write the program, whatever the design we want to compile, whatever the design we want to generate, it's a bit file. We'll write the VHDL program for that digital design, digital systems. So here we want to implement a half header using the VHDL, using the data flow architecture modeling. So first of all, let me write the comment. So comment can be entered by 2 dash. It will afterward whatever will write it consider as in comments, right? So here it is a VHDL program for half header using data flow architecture modeling. So here we want to write a half header program using the data flow architecture modeling. This is the comment for this program. It's for what the program's for, right? So this program's for the half header using the data flow architecture modeling in a VHDL, right? So in a VHDL, we know VHDL have a 3 parts. One is the library declaration. So let me first declare the library, and syntax to declare the library is a library, and then the name of library. So name of library is a IEEE. Second step is which package we want to use from this library. So it is a use, then the library name dot package name. So here package name is for different logic function. Package name is std underscore logic underscore 1164 dot all. This is the package name. So here our library and package declaration is complete. So this is the library and package declaration part of VHDL program. Second part is the entity declaration. So here we want to implement the half header. So what should be our entity? So in entity we have to declared, in entity we have to declared a. So this is, suppose this is the half header. So in a half header have a one XOR gate, let me draw here half header. So this half header have a one XOR gate, and have a two input A and B, and it's another logic for the carry logic is it is a ending of the two input and it is generate the carry, and it is generate the sum bit, right? So carry is the ending of A and B, and sum it is an XORing of A and B. So logic of a half adder is sum is XORing of the two input and carry is equal to the ending of the two input. So what we have to write in an entity? So in an entity it is an outer view. So in outer view it's have a two input pins and two output pins. This is the outer view of the chip. So in outer view we have to write in entity how to declare the entity. So entity, then the name of entity. So name of entity, let me specify the name of entity is a half header, right? Half header is not the keyword, so we can use the half header is then the port of half header. So in half header have a two input pin, let's say A and B, mode is in, and it is a type is std underscore logic. Then let define the output pins. S and C are the output pins, mode is out, and again type is std underscore logic. So once we complete the all the inputs and output pins, complete the small bracket and the semicolon. So it is our port declaration is over. Then let me end the entity, and here you can write the entity name as well as you can write end entity. Both the syntax is valid, right? Now third part in a VHDL program is the architecture body. So in architecture body is the internal view of any chip, right? So here in half header internal view is we want to sum it is an XORing of A and B, and carry is equal to ending of A and B. So architecture syntax is we have to write the architecture and then the name of architecture. Here we have to specify the name of architecture. Let's give the name of architecture is header underscore architecture of name of entity. So here we have to specify the name of entity is, right? Here this is the space where we can declare the signal and variable internal connection if we want to use, but in this we do not have any internal connections, so we can directly begin. And here it is a behavior description. So let me describe sum. It is a XORing B, and carry is equal to A and B. So this is the logic of an half header. So this is behavior descriptions. Once we complete the behavior description, end the architecture. So end architecture name. Here it is we have to specify the architecture name, right? So we have given the architecture name is half header underscore semicolon. So this is our VHDL program for an half header, right? It's have an entity library declaration, entity declaration, and the architecture body. Right? Any doubts so far how to write the VHDL program of an half header? Let me pause here for the 30 seconds. For you, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay, let me move. How to simulate, how to generate, it's a bit file. So here we have entered our design in a VHDL program. Next step is we have to save this file. So we will go to the file and save, right? File and save. You have to save this file in your directory wherever you want to save. So let me save this file. Let me save here. Let me give the name is half header. Half header. What name we have to provide here? The name is must same as the entity name. So we have given the entity name is half header. So here our VHDL file name must be a entity name. So it must be a half header. Then enter. So here this half header is not linked with any project. So it will ask us to want to create the project for this VHDL file. Yes, we want to create the project. So let click on yes. It will start the new project wizard, right? So next, here one project is already there in this directory. So you want to create another project or you want to create another folder for this directory? No, we want to store same project in same directory. So no. Then next, here in a which device we want to download, for which device we want to generate it's a programmable file, right? So you have to select that family and it's a device. Next, so here we want to add any another EDA tool file generated by another EDA tools. We do not have any another EDA tools file. So once we complete the new project wizard, it will be show you some summary of the project created and then finished. So once we create the project and what is our current project is compiled, it will show in a project navigator window. Here you can see our which project is going to compile. So our this half header project will going to compile. It is in a project navigator window, right? Now next step, once we enter our design and once we save and create the project, third and fourth step is to compile it. So we still now we have performed, we have entered our design in a VHDL file. Then next step we have saved our design. Third step we have created a project for our design. Now fourth step is to compile the design. So for the compile the design you have to go in a processing and start compilation. Processing and start compilation. So click on it. It will start the compilation and it will show the status in a status window. So here you can see the in a status window. Full compilation will perform four steps: analysis and synthesis, filter, assembler, and classic timing analyzer. In analysis will check our VHDL program is as per the VHDL syntax or not. If there any error, it will give the error in analysis when it perform the analysis. Second is perform the synthesis, convert the VHDL program into the netlist or a circuit forms. Fitter will check in a specified device, it will where to fit in a specified device. Logic generated by this synthesis where to fit in a selected device, right? First step is assembler. In assembler, as we know, it generates the programming file. It generates the programming file. And the fifth step is a classic timing analyzer. It will generate the report of propagation delay between the inputs and output pins. So all the input pins to the all the output pins, right? So that different function will perform in a compilation and its different file it store in a where in our directory where we have saved the project. Once the compilation is successful, it will give the flow summary. So in a flow summary, which device we are selected, from the device, how many logic gate is required to implement it. So it will give us the summary, right? You have to take the screenshot of the summary, right, and paste in a Word file that we already seen in our last lecture. Once the compilation is complete, successful, the next step is to we want to simulate, we want to verify, right? So for that, first of all we'll give the input, then we'll check what is the output generated as per the written VHDL program, right? So to give the inputs and to see the output, for that we require one new file. So again go to the file, new. Now in this case we do not want to enter the design, we want to check our design which we have entered. So we have to go in a verification in debugging files types. So in that we will, here we want to analyze, or we want, here we want to verified using the waveform. So let's select the vector waveform file. So select the vector waveform file and click OK. So it will open one vector waveform file editor window, where we can add a different inputs and outputs. So keep your cursor in this white blank space below the name and click on the right. Click the right click, and here you can see the how to insert inputs and output pins. So insert node and bus, right? And go to in a node finder. In this insert node and bus, go to in a node finder. So node finder. Now in a node finder, if you want to see the all the pins, so in a filter we have to keep all the pins. If you want to see only inputs pins, then here you have options. We can see only inputs pins, output pins, or intermediate signals, like that. So here we want to see all the pins. Now we want to look in from which entity we want all the pins. So we want all the pins of the half adder entity, right? So list this. It will list the pins with its is it a input or output pins. So here it is list out two inputs pins and two output pins. Now out of this, which pins we want to see in a vector waveform file? If you want to see all the pins on a vector waveform file, click on this copy all select node list. Click it will take in a selected node window. Once we will get in a selected node window, click on OK. Then again the OK. So here we can see our inputs and outputs pins, and output is by default a don't care, right? Initially it is in a don't care. Once you simulate, then it will generate the output according the logic. Now here how to give the inputs, how to give the input different inputs, right? So suppose for this up to the 20 nanoseconds, suppose I want to give the inputs 1. By default inputs are logic 0, right? Let me change the input as per our desired. So keep the cursor and click on the left and track it up to the 20 nanosecond, and right, so it is selected. The blue line is selected. Once we select it, this input ports, it automatically is open, right? Here suppose if you want to give the input is 1, then we can have to click on 1. Now suppose if you want to give the input for the entire end of simulation, up to the end of simulation, then you have to select this side, A or B. So it will select up to the end of simulations. Now for up to end of simulation, suppose if you give the input is 1, or suppose if you want to give the input is 0 and 0 and some patterns, then click on the count and it generate the 0 and 0 and 0 and like patterns, right? Suppose similarly for the A, if you want to give the input which is half frequency, then click on the count, go to the timing and divide by 2, right? Multiplied by 2. So time period is multiplied by 2, so the frequency is divided by it's divided by 2. So here we can see 2 times 1, 2 times 0, like that. So in this case we can check all the possible combination 0 0, 1 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1, right? Once we give the our input for which we want to simulate or for which we want to see our outputs, then next step is to save this file. Go to file and save it. Click on the save, right? Then the save this file, so it will automatically open the our project directory, and it will take the same name as the entity name. Keep it as it is, do not change, because otherwise it will give the error. It will give the error like it not find the simulation file. So the simulation file must be also same as our entity name or the project name. So just click on save, right? So here we have saved our .vwf file, vector waveform file. Next step is to simulate this file. So for the simulation, go to processing and start simulation. Processing and start simulation. So it will start the simulations, right? Here after the simulation, here we can see this is our outputs. This is the outputs. Right. Now you have to verify the output as per the our logic or not. So here we are getting the output have delayed. So this is the delayed of the outputs, right? So this is perform a timing simulation. So it will give the output after the actual delay of the logic. It is fit in the in our desired device. In this desired device what generate the delay, so it will give the output as per the actual delay. So now next is, if you want to check only the functionality, we do not want to bother about what is the actual delay, then if you want to check only the functionality, then we can check doing a functional simulation instead of this timing simulation. We can check in a functional simulation. So how to change the setting of the simulations? To change the settings, settings available in assignment, go to in a settings. And in setting, go to in a simulator settings, right? In a simulator setting, instead of the simulation mode, timing, converted into the functional, right? Click OK. Right. Now for the functional simulations, it required one file, function simulation netlist, before the simulations. For the functional simulation, it required the one functional simulation netlist, right? The netlist which do not have any which do not have any timing informations. It is just a logic. So we need to be generate a functional simulation netlist. So again we have to go in a processing and generate a functional simulation netlist. Click on it, it will start the process, and you can see in the status window it is started the process of functional simulation netlist, and once it complete, it gives the message the function simulation netlist was successful. Click OK. Then do the simulations. So again the processing and start the simulations. So now whatever the output will get, it is a functional simulation. It is a functional simulation instead of timing. Now it is a functional simulations. So in a functional simulation, it not having in delayed, it just check the logic, right? So it like a truth table, it just check the logic. So if the both the input are 0 0, here we can see our A and B, both the inputs are 0 0. So what should be the output? Both the outputs are 0 0, sum 0 as well as carry 0. Here we can see one of the input is 1 and one input is 0, right? So it is a 0 1 inputs. So in a 0 1 input, XORing is 1, so that means sum output is 1 and carry output is equal to 0. Third combination is 1 0, A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0. So in that case, again the XORing output is 1 and ending output is 0. So sum is equal to 1 and end is equal to carry is equal to 0. And for the combination where the inputs are both the inputs are 1 and 1, in that case we'll get output C is equal to 1, ending of A and B is equal to 1, and XORing is equal to 0, sum is equal to 0. So it is this way we have to verify the whatever we amplified the logic, we have to verify it in this waveforms form, right? So we have to provide the input such a way that it check all the possible combinations, and we have to verify the for the all the possible combination we are getting the as per the our logic or not, right? So this is the simulations. Any doubts so far how to perform the simulations? Again I'll stop, again I will pause for the 30 seconds for your if you have any doubt. Okay, good. So I hope you are getting everything. Now once you see the, once we verified, so still now we have performed the function like we have entered our design in a VHDL file. Then we have saved the VHDL file. Third step is we have created the project of that VHDL file. Fourth step we have compiled our design. In a fifth step, to see the to verify it, to testing it, we have a entered our inputs waveforms in a vector waveform file. So we have a opened the one new verification in debugging file, a vector waveform file, where we have a given the different logic of inputs. Then we have a saved this vector waveform file. Then after the saving the vector waveform file, we have a simulate the designs, right? So in a we have simulate the timing designs. But if you want to check only the functionality, then go to the assignment and do the settings of the simulations and convert the simulation mode into the functional mode. And for the functional simulation functional simulation, it required one file, a functional simulation netlist. For that, to generate the functional simulation netlist, go to in a processing and click on the functional simulation netlist. It will start generating the functional simulator netlist for the functional simulations. Once the functional simulation netlist is successful, next step is to do the simulation. So it will perform a function simulation. And next step is to verify the output for the all the combination of the inputs. If we'll get the correct as per our requirement, so our logic we have returned it perfect. That means we have a tested, we have a verified our logic, right? So this is the a simple RTL design of any digital systems. A step of RTL design using the quarters 2 of any digital systems, right? Now here if you want to see what is the architecture generated, what the netlist it will create for our VHDL program. To see that netlist, you can go in a tools and netlist viewer. It's have a netlist viewer in it, right? So here let me view our design in a RTL viewer. Let's see what, and once we click it, it start again a process in a status window to generate the RTL viewer. Once it's complete, it show the RTL viewer of our design. So this is our RTL view of our design. We have returned for the S, it is XORing of A and B. So it's have a used one inbuilt XOR gate to implement A XOR B, and to generate the carry we have written A and B. So it's have used the AND gate to generate that logic. So this is the logic generated, or the netlist of a half header. Any doubts still? Now next step is, if you want to implement the half header into any CPLD in FPGA chip, then in a compilation it's already generated a programming file when it's run a assembler, right? So we already have in our folders, in a directory folders, a programming file. So next step, to download on a CPL in FPGA chip, just go to in a tools and programmers. Once you click on a tools and programmers, it will open a programmer window where it's automatically it take depending on the device. So here we have selected the Quartus 2 device, Cyclone 2 device, and Cyclone 2 device it is a FPGA chip. And for the FPGA chip, as I told, programming file is .sof. So here you can see the programming file is .sof, SRAM object file. Full form of .sof is SRAM object file, right? Here I do not have any hardware. Otherwise, next step is just to select the hardware and the start. Then start will enable start the downloading. Once the download is complete in 100%, you can verify your logic in a board, in a CPL in FPGA. Then after the CPL in FPGA, it's work as per the whatever we have download the code. Suppose here we have download the code half header, then after the FPGA and CPL chip work as an half header, right? So CPL and FPGA, it is a programmable device. You can program the any digital system you can program on a CPL or an FPGA device, right? So these are the steps for to download on a CPL in FPGA chip, and it will make to implement any digital design on a CPL in FPGA. These are the steps for the RTL design to enter the design in a VHDL, and how to verify it, how to simulate it in a quarters 2, right? So any VLSI design flow, first step is always a RTL design. So RTL designer's job is to convert design into the program form. So RTL designer in a company if you go in a VLSI design flow, first step is always a RTL designer. So RTL designer will convert the specification into the programs in a VHDL or a Verilog, or using a system Verilog. So first step is to convert specification into the program and enter the design in terms of programs. Once the program is ready, next step is to create the project and compile it. Once the compilation is successful, then it's verified, it's a test. So next flow, it's a verifications. So verification engineers test whatever the functionality returned, it is satisfied the specification of the customer or not, right? So here we have written for the half header, so we have checked whatever the output it is as per the half header logic or not. So verification person will check whatever the program written by the RTL engineers, RTL designers, it is as per the specification of the customer or not. So it will check all the all the corners of the specification, and it check the it is covered the all the logic and giving the correct output logic or not, right? Once it is verified, so it is an called a verification pre post layout verifications, right? Next step is to convert this program netlist whatever generated in a synthesis into the layout, right? Then that task will do by the physical design engineers. So third step is the in a any VLSI industry, it is a physical design engineers teams. So physical design engineers team will convert the netlist into the layout for to fabricate in a IC. It is required in terms of layout, because in IC it is nothing but the different step of the different materials, right? It is a layout. So it convert this circuit into the layout forms. Once it is layout form is ready, again it's checked, okay, it is matching with the that simulation result or not, pre simulation result or not. So it will perform the post layout simulation, and it will check the LVS, right? Layout versus simulations. So whatever the layout output, it is matching with the simulation output or